quiet as a calm sea, which is not very quiet.
No, calm sea's never quiet. It's very loud. Oh, the Watcher, right?
Well, that's unusual.
20 grazes covered to hits, 5 accuracy against spirits, 25 against spirits. That must be 20 nice. Okay. Blaze covered was a graceful growl, Fluffin and Graffin's. The Whispers of Yenwood was once the sword of the first Road Warden of Caed Noir. When the Earl of Yenwood appointed Cathid Edward to the young lord feared the spirits that rumoured to dwell under the young castle's foundation. Goes on for far too long just for a bloody sword. Damaging. Damage, corrode damage. Definitely want to put that on somebody, so who do we want to put that on? So. Do first.
Great.
I die here, so like I say, I can save it and rest. I think I'll need it. But I need that. That. Get forward.
Let's. Attack. Let's go.
Die. Did he have a chance? Did he have a chance to survive that one?
Hey. Following your lead.
I think I don't have the range. Okay.
How may I help? That's thank you.
Attack!
I did it. Nice. They all summoned and then they all died. Okay. Yeah, I thought I went on everybody.
Nice and slow.
Got many rooms apparently. As you come to the end of the Great Hall, you perceive an inviting warmth radiating from a grand throne wrought out of marble, its masterful artistry out of place amongst the castle's more practical stonework. The veiled face of a woman is carved above the throne's backing, watching over the room with hollow eyes. As you approach, you feel the warmth fluctuate, as though stirring. A voice rings out from the carvings, permitting the fortress through stone and air. Another watcher
in Cadnua, glowing very brightly indeed to these eyes. What strange happenstance.
I'm looking for Merwald.
As am I. If you should happen to find him, I would be glad to know of it. Each day his absence brings new dust to my halls, new cracks to my stones. It's shameful is what it is. The Earl would never have let it come to this. You are free to search for him here. I will unbar the way.
Ed, those were your halls.
Not as a land is its lord's, more as a child is its mother's. This castle was my design, you see. The Earl appointed me to do it. I was getting on in years. I knew it would be my only chance to build something magnificent. When it was built, I couldn't bring myself to part from it, to go back to my lonely home. I begged the Earl to let me stay, to take care of it. It was all I wanted, and he granted it. Years later, when Bereth's usher finally came calling, I begged the Earl to find a way to let me remain, and so he did.
Merwald.
He was a great man. He came here one day, young with long hair and polished armor, and he banished the dark things that had come to lurk in this place after centuries of neglect. He could see the beauty of this place, the way it had been. So he claimed it for his own when no one else would take it. We worked together to restore it. But he began to grow distant some time ago. He never told me why. He retreated deeper and deeper into the keep, never leaving, sending servants for food, hiding himself from my sight. The restoration stopped. Now, to look at the place, you'd never know the progress we'd made. In most places, it's worse than it ever was. And all I can do is watch it crumble around me. I can feel his presence faintly somewhere deeper inside the keep. But he uses his gifts to confound me, and my senses are dulled while he does so. I only wish I could know his mind.
Are you imprisoned in that throne?
Imprisoned? At times it feels that way, I suppose. But it's more that I reside here. The throne was brought up from the ruins, one of the first things they found. As a last favor to a dying woman, the Earl arranged for me to be moved into it. Audra is an accommodating vessel for a soul. Oh, it's not as confining as it seems. I can feel the whole keep from here, and all things that are tied to it. There's something about this throne and its construction. Or maybe it's something about this place.
Probably this place. What Earl are you speaking of?
The Earl of Yenwood. The original, in fact, when Deerwood was a colony. He found this site, the only ruin Ere Glanfarth refused to defend, and he believed its wealth would be great. The keep was his way of defending his family's claim, and that claim became his obsession. He had to know what lay beneath. He devoted his life to excavating the ruins below the keep. They had been sealed with rock and soil. Deliberately, it would seem. Years passed, and with them the Earl. He dug his entire life and never found what he sought. His obsession became his sons and his sons' sons. And one day, that young Earl broke through.
What did he find?
An endless maze, incomprehensible in its construction. But he would never come to learn more than that. Vile things had taken residence there, vile and dangerous. They poured up through the keep and slew its residents, the Earl among them. After that, the keep remained abandoned, unused, wasted. Mayorwall's mastery of this place was the first hope I'd had in 200 years. How I've longed to see it as it once was. I can only guess why all this has happened. I fear I've wronged the gods putting this place here, and they've doomed me to watch it wear away into dust. To witness my own folly.
Own folly?
Take care in your search. Many dangers lie in wait here.
On this. So to keep find Melwold, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave it here. I don't die. Yeah, I'll probably have to rest. So I'll probably rest again. Well, folks, alright, so we are back into the action. So we will, well, I will be resting up, getting everybody pumped up, and then we'll be talking to Durance again. So sit down and relax. Sit down and talk a while. What? Why are you not in this area? Okay, so I think I have to go to a new area to get that done. Alright, so I guess I'll be doing that then.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Been out playing soldier again, have we? Go wash up and come help me shuck these peas.
I think I'm going to turn that down just a little bit more of that. She turns from you long enough to produce a basket. Like her, is shimmering and semi-transparent, and no complaints. You got to eat your vegetables if you want to grow up strong and be a real soldier one day. Just like we agreed, right? She watches you out the corner of her eye. Talking about.
Soldiers are important people. They defend the weak and punish the wicked. You're too young to understand now, but there are lots of wicked people. People like the man who murdered your father.
Hey, what happened to my father?
Before you were born, the Glanfarthans attacked settlers like us. They said we'd knocked over some of their special Outtro rocks. That's why they call it the Broken Stone War. They got very angry, and so they came into our villages and killed many people. Your father was one of them.
Let's see, he was one of the people that My Fuffin's killed. What I said. Her voice is low and hoarse, and her hand is frozen over the basket. Something dark and empty clouds over her eyes.
That's why you'll be a soldier one day. To protect and to avenge. Why don't you go back out and play? I'll finish up here.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to turn that. I don't know what it is, but the voice volume is really out of whack. But it's low enough that it's like it's hitting a threshold or something. I don't understand why it's doing that.
Let's see what lies this way.
Very odd. It's odd it is, because I don't know what's causing it. Nothing, eh? Nothing? Nothing? Nothing there, nothing there. Side door?
Brave thou Philar Philly.
Hey, cookie! Yeah, you might die here. Isn't good.
How may I? How may I?
They rest up here.
Hell.
And low on on me anyway. It's not looking good, folks. There was one thing I was going to change. The opacity. Raise up. I'm going to raise that up just. I guess the other way, personally. That. So I want to turn that all the way up so I know what I'm doing. Cool. 8. Yep. Spiders have taken up residence in the empty cells.
Margarin's fire casts light in dark places.
Map shows the Deerwood's old colonial borders. A settlement called New Dundred is marked in a place in present-day Defiance Bay. Nothing, no scrolls, no nothing. No. Right, so I think I have to go out to rest to come back in. Well, chit chat to Durance, and oh my word, does he like to chit chat, doesn't he, folks? Okay. Oh, toasty, toasty. Toasty, toasty,
Hey. Hey, what's on your mind?
Yes? Yes, my friend?
How may I help?
Good for you. Alright. I need you to leave. I have questions I want to
If
ask.
doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skidding your knuckles on the wrong door.
And, I want to know more about the salvation. When the animancers try to place animal souls into children, Durance snarls. Now that I don't agree with, okay? If you ever needed proof of their trespass, that alone speaks to it. Wedwin may have taken a god, but to put an animal inside the vessel of a child? Durance shakes his head, his face winkling in disgust. Animancy is madness. Worse, it took too long to see the crime for what it was. I heard of the first tales, the Orlin suffering first. He chuckles, ruefully, then steers, like they always do, animals within animals, compounding the madness. Did you see what happened? First was a woman. Could have chalked that up to a female weakness. Then the catmen could have chalked that up to being animals, his hands tightening on his staff. Then more and more souls ended up at their claws. Durance's gazes hardens. I would have given anything to place them within a cage with those they saved, and see their craft shape the craftsman. Let those children tear their tormentors apart. I can only give a taste of what they should suffer. It is meagre fare for us both. Ask you something else?
I suspect the answers will seed more questions.
Yes, they certainly will. Look, you like the spraff, mate, not me, okay? Tell me about Magnan. Oh, you know. You know her. You must. He gives a bitter chuckle, then his tone evens out. She's a many-headed bitch. Okay, then. So, what is your view? Well, I guess...
She's a goddess, as fickle as they come, and with all the failings you'd expect of an empress and a whore. Too many eyes, too many wants, too much to hold on to. That's the failing of a god. More aspects than words to describe her, like most of them. A god with many nations to oversee, only serves to spread herself too thin.
Too thin. Although flame rarely crosses twice, so perhaps that is the only truth she embraces. Who knows? Gods are greedy. When it comes to fire, fire is a god's hunger. What are her aspects? Durance begins to count on his fingers, chanting it off. War transforms, fire consumes, trials purify, warfare, fire, consuming, petrification, and most of all, transforming. Trials as well, but all things are put to the test anyway. A trial can consume, purify, transform. They are all linked, although at its heart is the flame, and the flame is what matters. It is the source of all things. Guess they should have started with that, eh? Any fool around a campfire knows that. Without flames, fire, we would have made little progress in the dark. To hear some of the in the fire tell it around, the hearth and bellows, even in the halls of Asheville, you think that fire brought life to man, and that fire was Magran. Some of the older texts say she rubbed her hands together and they burst into flame, or another god shafted her like a poker. He's so eloquent, isn't he? So eloquent. There are different prosperities on her then. Perspectives. He grunts. Mine is only one sight among many. Durance frowns, pauses, then his eyes take on an eagle gleam. But here's one. I can speak to how the losing side sees her, and that should tell you enough. Let me speak to what an Edarin sees. Edir. Choose your next words carefully. Yeah. That's me talking to them now, eh? I'm going to chastise. Oh, I should chastise them. Should I chastise them? No, we'll just go nice and steady with him because he's a bit, you know. And what does an Edarian see? The Edarians have a proper polite translation for her. Excellence in war. Tactical discipline. That's why they lose the fucking colony, of course. They were probably still quoting that while we had them bent across the desks. All their guns and cannons are fine, but unless when your staff is cracking light into their skulls, dispensing red gifts left and right, Durance's first fist tightened, and he laughed. Adrian's call that elevation, divine awareness. Those words are welcome as shit on one's boots, and that's all they took back while they were running. He shakes his head. A lesson learned at the wrong time. Almost feel a pang of sympathy for them. Almost. Listen, what do you mean? The title of a god isn't knowing a god. Adhering to words rather than walking the path. Testing yourself in the heart of it. Will walk until the worlds are stripped away and you feel it burning in your heart. That is the lesson. That Eoran politeness, that pretty adherence to the word of scripture as they saw it, that burned their ships, scarred them, kept them running through the Deerwood campaign. He snorts. Divine awareness. There's no true faith in waiting to be tested. The best in battle have already shit themselves plenty. Shit themselves until they're dry and can focus on the killing. Anyway, enough about Magran. I have other questions.
I suspect the answers will seed more questions.
And then it's basically speaking to her again. Tell me about Magran. Does she have any allies?
Some, shaped for hunt and war. Abidan the Golem. Galawain and his beasts. The latter keeps us honest and awake. The other makes the tools by which we punish those who are not.
We kind of read about that, so not surprised you haven't heard. More gods than weeds in a field, and those are only the ones of this lifetime. They come and go, but they are always here at the same time. Abaddon, who used to look human, Durance grunts. Got killed, then built a new body for himself. Transformation with Magram's help. Perhaps she needed her own blacksmith to tend the fires. If so, Abaddon serves it. Durance frowns. He's a weapon, a tool, not a god in my mind. Still, the people of Deerwood, the cities especially, hold him dear. So be it. Although if the reward for hard work and craftsmanship is a body like his, I'll keep my blood and my cock and hips to thrust with it. Alright, she also mentioned a Galloway. Monster Father, the Great Hound. As for monsters, this world has quite a bit, and not just the ones on two legs. It's as if he's made monsters solely to hunt them, or to remind men of their place. He's busy making more, I suspect. More monsters than sense. Variation upon variation, huh? What do you mean? His aspects are a confusing bunch, and considering he respects reversals of fortune, especially in beasts, perhaps not so confusing. No reason why Magran and he shared a bed, in my eyes. Even if he does believe in the trial, a filthy Orling god, in many ways, howling and mewling, perhaps like they do, they can keep their beasts. I'll take fire and weapons any day. Okay. Who are our enemies? Everybody! It's as if you swallowed a gadfly nest. Keep silent and keep them to yourself. Let you tire yourself before the next campfire. Getting good, mate. Just getting good.